is we're doing a big push towards a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal that will only be offered in the newsletter.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by BlueTuskr that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 80 of the Marketing Interruption podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Maffetone, and today I'm recapping everything that we talked about this week. So this week I kind of did a Black Friday, Cyber Monday feel. I kind of got away with myself on Wednesday and Thursday with the whole gifs and memes thing, but I spun it in to be Black Friday related. At this point, if you're looking for Black Friday, Cyber Monday tips, you're a little late anyway, so I don't really feel bad. But so on Monday we talked about the promoting your deals ahead of time. So if you didn't start this week, let's see, this comes out on the 13th, which means you have the next, so you're really pushing your luck, but you really should start promoting it next week as well. But if you haven't started already, I definitely suggest starting. We talked about, different ways to promote Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals ahead of time. I had a couple of people ask me, like, why do you do this ahead of time? Why would you bother promoting it, early if it's not until then? And people get confused and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it can get confusing. Sometimes, the average consumer, my favorite thing to say is the average consumer isn't dumb, but they're lazy. So unless you make it completely blatantly obvious and very easy for them to remember, they never remember. So there's different ways to kind of do that. You can have them sign up for alerts or something like that. Sometimes what we used to do would be we'll create a landing page of just the information for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we would say sign up to get an alert when the sale goes live, in which case we're probably sending out that email anyway, but it's kind of like that extra way of them saying like, oh, I'm going to get an email knowing when it goes live anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. There's a couple different ways to work around that, but as long as you make it clear, some people I've seen do really well where they'll do like a big banner on their website, say Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, and it said, don't forget, you're going to get blank off. And that will, you can see that there's a number there, but it will say like over top of it, like censored or something, or revealed, Black Friday or something like that. So they kind of know that, hey, it's coming. There's a different way to do it, but it's an interesting way to start driving traffic to your website. Because you also have to think, the more traffic you can get to your website now, the easier it's going to be to get them to come back later, because A, it's much, much less expensive to retarget people. And then B, they're already more more fresh. They've recently seen your brand. Someone tell me how I should, they've more refreshed with your, more fresh. You got it. We also talked about the exclusivity. So that's an interesting way to do things. I have a couple brands who are actually doing something pretty similar with that. So, different ways to basically act like, we're offering this deal to the public, but if you're a part of this group, we're going to offer you this better deal, something along those lines. I also know one of the companies we're working with right now, what we actually did is we're actually doing a big campaign over the past it's been live for, well, I guess this comes out on the 13th, so it's been live for 2 weeks. And it's still going to go for another week after this comes out. And essentially what we did is we're doing a big push towards a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal that will only be offered in the newsletter. So we're not publicizing it anywhere. We're not telling people on social media what it is. We're not telling people on their website what it is. We're only telling people on the newsletter. And so basically what we're trying to do right now is to grow their list as much as we possibly can, and then offer that discount out to only people who read that newsletter. Maybe we might end up doing a last minute, smaller discount, but it won't be anything near what the newsletters are doing. So it's another interesting way to kind of make it exclusive and to tell people basically we're going to be offering an exclusive deal. So become a part of this group, essentially. And then we talked about meme marketing and gifs and my severe aversion to people who call it gifs. Meme marketing, someone did send me finally a meme manager local here in Philly, which blew my mind. which, hey, you know what? More power to them. If it works, it works. I actually hope one day that BlueTuskr will be big enough that I'll just say, screw it, let's get a meme manager. So keep an eye out for that. But memes, gifs, stuff like that, it's a great way to give your product line some character. It works really well if you have a broad audience, or if you have a more relaxed audience, I would say. In a more professional setting, not a huge fan of GIFs or memes. I try to keep it a little bit more formal. So it kind of comes down to make sure you have your brand voice guideline like laid out and your customer profile and all that stuff, and really understand who you're talking to before you just start throwing memes at them. But I would definitely say they can work really well if you can hit the right audience with it. That's all I wanted to touch on today. So one of the other things, though, I'm going to mention is that next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do basically a Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of prep. Like, what is it you should be doing to prepare? Because I find during this time of year, I get sellers who are they're going a mile a minute, and they're just, we got to do this and this and this, and what about this and this and this. And honestly, you get so anxious and so like tightly wound that no one really starts to realize that by this point, chances are what you've put together, that's all it's going to do. There's really not much more you can do. Yes, I mean, well, I guess this comes out on the 13th, so you still have about a week or so to start pushing it. But that comes down to just ad spend, newsletters, content, whatever it is you can do. Put your brand name wherever you can. But next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you can do in those final moments to kind of keep yourself busy, but not drive yourself crazy, because you don't want to be changing bids. You don't want to be testing stuff. You don't want to be doing anything during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because you'll have completely inaccurate data. So that means during that time frame, you really just need to be sitting on your hands and just looking at your numbers and going, well, I hope this goes well, because you shouldn't be changing things. So next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So make sure you tune in next week. Rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If there's anything specific you want me to touch on, shoot me an email. Let me know. I'd be happy to answer your questions here on the podcast. But shoot me an email, marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com, or comment if you're watching this on YouTube or reading it on our blog or whatever it is, wherever it is you are. But that's all I had. So enjoy your weekend. Obviously, good luck for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but I will keep you all in that loop next week. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetuskr.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.